Capricorn, it's looking like you have a busy month ahead of you. Taking a look at what's going on in the stars for you this March, it feels like you are having very important conversations, getting on the same page with people, or just clarifying things. I feel like some of you could be starting new projects or just juggling a lot, but this actually feels productive and pretty good. I do see an interesting change happening for you at the end of this month. The full moon lunar eclipse in Libra is heralding a particularly big change for you, especially in regards to your career and long-term goals. This could be an ending or a major pivot point for you. If you're looking forward to this month's reading, then definitely be sure to hit like, subscribe, and the bell notification if you haven't done that already. That way you can always stay up to date with what's in the cards for you. For those of you who are brand new to this channel, hello and welcome. My name is Michael, and I utilize a tried and true method of combining tarot and Western or tropical astrology to intuit accurate monthly forecasts for your zodiac signs. For those of you who are ready for a deep dive and would like to book a personal reading or distance Reiki session with me, you can find a link for my website as well as all of my other social media accounts in the description of this video. So as usual, the first cards that came out are pretty on the nose with the astrology. We actually do have the Two of Pentacles and Ten of Pentacles, but this is coming in as past influence. So this is what's been going on in your life. And it feels like there has been some big change in your day-to-day life. Maybe for some of you there was a move or just a lot of different things happening in your home life or also with work as well. It's again, kind of the mundane day-to-day stuff where I'm really seeing a lot that's in transition or there's maybe some juggling that's going on here. But I feel like you've been pretty successful with that, Capricorn. And I even get the sense that you have become quite abundant or very stable. And it kind of feels like you're kind of in your element, honestly. Like I'm seeing this and I'm really happy to see this for you because as Capricorns, you do tend to like to be busy. You like to feel productive. You get a lot of worth out of that. And so I feel like the energy has been very healthy for you overall, but it does feel like it's been busy or there's been some complications maybe here. I'm really curious to see what else we have for you this month. And as I'm shuffling, I'm just going to give my quick reminder that these are general readings, meaning not all of the messages that come forward are going to be meant for you specifically. It's up to your own intuition and discernment to figure out what applies to your own life and what should be left behind for somebody else. And if this video just does not resonate with you at all, it's totally fine. Nothing went wrong. It just means that it wasn't meant for you at this time. But you are more than welcome to check out the other videos on my channel, maybe for your moon or especially rising sign for the astrology, as there may be some messages for you there as well. So what do we have for you, Capricorn? We just had a card fall out. Oh, no, it was just the Ten of Pentacles. What do we have for Capricorn? Interesting. So again, I feel like you're having really important conversations with the Page of Swords, and this is really making a lot of sense to me. Because we have so much activation in your Pisces third house of communication, as well as kind of just like your day-to-day life, it feels like there have been some important conversations, perhaps involving a water sign, Scorpio, Cancer, or Pisces, or someone with that in their big three. It feels like there's been, honestly, some pretty good heart-to-heart conversations, or that's something that you realize you need to have. Maybe some of you have been neglecting or just haven't been able to put as much attention into your work or into your relationships. There's kind of been just a lot that you've been juggling. And I feel like for a lot of you, this is more about connecting with people again, or there's something that you need to do to connect with somebody. And it feels more like a personal relationship. It kind of feels like different parts of your life here. What do we have? What else do we have for Capricorn? We do also have a new moon in Pisces on the 10th. And so this could really be signifying some more busyness or more communication. new moons in general are a really good time to do manifestation work. And I think specifically for you, with this new moon being in the part of your chart that rules over communication, maybe writing things down or speaking them aloud could be a really powerful way to manifest right now. Sorry, I keep losing these cards here. Interesting. We do have the High Priestess with the Ten of Swords and the Son of Swords. I feel like you're getting vibes about someone this month. Could be an air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. And it kind of feels like maybe someone is, I don't want to say betraying you or conspiring against you, but it feels like they have their own interest that's not in your best interest, if that makes any sense. But I don't want this to be alarming to you, because you do have the High Priestess. You are seeing things very clearly. You're sensing them. And we do have Neptune again in your third house, which is your conscious mind. You are very, very intuitive and sensitive this month, particularly around the 8th and the 17th. That's when Mercury and the Sun are joining Neptune, which is really giving you a lot of intuitive insights, and maybe even like connecting to people on a more psychic level. It's almost like a telepathic energy for you right now. But it feels like someone might not have your best interest at heart. I do also see with the Ten of Swords and the Knight of Swords, some of you may actually be a bit accident prone. I just want that to be on your radar. I know when sometimes you're sort of moving and hustling, it's easier to maybe bump into things or make a mistake or trip up in some way. I feel like some of you are potentially, just be sure not to injure yourself. Like, don't get too caught in your head. Make sure you're kind of breathing and staying present throughout the day. What else do we have? What else do we have for Capricorn? Show us clearly. Interesting. We do have the Star. Okay. It feels like this Knight of Swords or Son of Swords is a coworker. Someone you might have a rivalry with. And I feel like you have more of a long-term vision and goal than this person, or at least a sense of direction. Because sometimes with the star, it is sort of vague. It's more like a direction. It's the North Star. We don't necessarily know what that road looks like, but we know the general direction, and that's what I'm really getting for you, Capricorn. There's almost this needing to have faith and trust and like... I'm getting this sense like the universe really has your back. No matter who is trying to sabotage you or get ahead of you in some way, there is divine protection at play here as well. And for some of you, you may be blocked off from situations that aren't actually meant for you, and that might be part of this lunar eclipse that we have at the end of this month, which could be kind of dramatic for you. But it also feels like there is a major shift or change in your long-term vision or goals, particularly as it relates to your career. Star with the Seven of Wands. Some people are afraid of your star power. They see your potential and it triggers them. And I feel like they have this sense that you are about to come into some really significant chapter, Capricorn. People just sense this energetically, even if it's not obvious right now. And I'm really getting like star power. That's like something that just keeps kind of tumbling in the echo chamber here for me. There's like, you have a lot of star power. Some of you might actually be getting recognized on a larger scale, maybe on social media or some sort of maybe local fame as well, especially like in your neighborhood. That actually kind of makes sense too with this month. It almost feels like you're publishing something or presenting something. And it feels like someone wants to sabotage something here with the Three of Swords. I'm going to be honest, I do get the sense that there may be a minor setback for some of you. And I don't want that to dissuade you. I don't want that to scare you, because I want to stress that this feels minor in the grand scheme of things. There's just sort of this like trickster energy about, you do still have something to look forward to here with the Three of Wands. Your work is paying off. There is actually signs of progress for you by the end of this month. And it's still like a very forward moving energy overall, but I do get the sense of like a hiccup, and it feels like it's tied to a person or maybe even a small group of people who for some reason are kind of like working against you. But what's this Three of Wands about? Show us clearly, please. Interesting. Devil. Someone's really trying to take an opportunity from you. I'm really getting this, Capricorn. But it's interesting because the Devil is also your energy as well. And we do have the Nine of Pentacles here. I feel like for some of you there is some sort of promotion or increase in abundance. There's just this very comfortable feeling that you are moving into. And it's like you can finally relax a little bit, because it feels like there's been a lot of movement. And I think as we get more into Aries season for you, this is really going to be focused more on home and even family stuff, particularly with Mercury going retrograde on April 1st. So April Fools to us all, I guess. There may be some miscommunications or reevaluations, and for you that actually could be coming up with family, or there could be stuff happening at home and that's kind of bringing your attention. But it actually feels like you're kind of shifting more in a restful state by the end of this month. And I did want to tell you with the Devil, don't overwork yourself. Don't get too obsessive here now. Don't lose a sense of balance. Interesting. We do have the Three of Cups. I feel like you're really figuring out who your real friends are, who your allies are. So it's not all bad. I feel like if there's some weird energy going on between you and another person, it feels like there are other people who are clocking that, and they feel protective of you, or they're kind of watching out for you, or looking out for you, I should say. Tell me about this saboteur. Interesting. King of Swords or Father of Swords. Again, air sign energy with this person. Could be Aquarius, could be Gemini, might even be a Libra. It's interesting too, because we do actually have Venus in your second house in Aquarius, squaring off with Uranus and Taurus, and that could be indicating some sort of financial battle. And again, On the 9th, we also do have Mars squaring Uranus. Mars is also in Aquarius. That can bring some sort of conflict. It feels like there's some sort of conflict around money or like security. Someone wants something that you're going after or that you deserve. And I feel like they're being very cunning about this. And they're playing a long game with the Hanged Man. Two of Cups in reverse. You know not to trust this person. And like, if this is your reading, I feel like you're gonna know pretty quickly who this person is. You may even know already. Because it feels like someone's really trying to sweet talk you, and it's like, it's not actually this person's normal behavior, which is why it's so odd. And it's almost like so apparently transactional. That's kind of the word I'm looking for here. There's someone who's being very transactional with you, and it shows. And I just want to say, like, don't really give this person a lot of your energy. Is there anything else for Capricorn? Anything else that Capricorn should be aware of? We do have the Eight of Swords. Don't get too stuck in your head here. Again, especially if it feels like there is some sort of setback or delay, that's actually kind of to be expected because Mercury is stationing retrograde, or it's in its pre-shadow. And so things are going to kind of be slowing down. Maybe things are delayed a bit by a month. We do have a couple of eclipses. We do have one again at the end of this month and also in April as well. So there are some really big things that are taking place. There's kind of a disruptive energy here. But we do have the Two of Wands. You know, keep your vision forward. Keep looking forward, Capricorn. I do feel like you will be successful in the end, or you're going to find something even better. And I really keep hearing like long game. For those of you who do work on social media or something, maybe creative, I feel like there's a person who's trying to collab with you who isn't working for you, or just some sort of similar working relationship like that. Again, these are general readings, but interesting. Anything else for Capricorn? I'm curious maybe about like love. Anything going on in love? We do have the Page of Pentacles. I kind of just feel like you're very focused on work or being very busy. Maybe there's someone who's actually being helpful for you right now. I do feel like there are some friends. You do have some allies here, so don't lose sight of them. What do we have? What messages for love? We do have Judgment. Yeah, I just feel like there's a lot going on right now, is really how this is coming across to me. Maybe some of you are making a big decision about a relationship, or there's like a big conversation actually that could be coming up, and that sort of tracks with Pisces season in particular. But I really think there's just, your mind is kind of on other things right now, and maybe you do need to reconnect with people and have those conversations, but it's like even that feels almost like punctuating the other stuff going on this month for you. Very, very interesting. Any other messages for Capricorn? So dramatic. We do have the Tower in reverse. Whatever setback is happening, it's not the end of the world, Capricorn. Don't get too in your head about it. The Tower in reverse does also make me wonder, maybe some of you are kind of being the tower for somebody else. Maybe you are expressing a really big truth or revealing something to somebody. Or that could be reversed. Maybe someone is dropping a really big truth on you too. That's kind of more how I'm seeing this tower in reverse. It's kind of like a truth bomb or a perspective shift. And it's also kind of like it's more, it's not as dramatic as it seems to be. Okay. Um, I think I'm going to pull an animal card for you. Actually, I'm going to pull a moon card for you. What messages and guidance do we have for Capricorn this month? Interesting. We have the South Node, don't let your past hold you back, and Void of Course Moon, nothing will come of this situation. Don't stay stuck in old patterns or old positions. Don't keep yourself small. That might actually be a blessing here. If something doesn't end up going your way in the moment, there's something better for you. And it might feel a little backhanded. You might not get the promotion you had your eye on because there's actually another position or another company or another organization or whatever that's better for you. And again, you have star power as well. I really do feel like some of you have this ability to work on social media or just reach people. And that's like, that feels like kind of the direction you're moving towards, and maybe moving away from something a little more traditional or something more behind the scenes. And sometimes with the Void of Course Moon, nothing will come of this situation. It's actually just telling you not to worry. And I know that's kind of hard because I feel like I'm giving you this message where it's like, yeah, things might not go the way that you're expecting or hoping them to in the moment, but keep your vision on what it is that you actually want to achieve and what your goals actually are. Because I feel like that's where the real success is going to be for you, Capricorn. Yeah, full moon in Virgo, you are good enough. And we actually just had this at the end of March here. Sometimes this does bring up questions of our worthiness or our value. You know, full moon in Virgo can be kind of a hypercritical time or self-critical time. But it's also time to heal and to be of service as well. And I really do feel like some of you are connecting with other people. You're in service to other people. I do now want to pull an animal card for you, and I think that's where we will leave off this month, Capricorn. Interesting. We do have the swan coming in, and I kind of pulled it sideways here, and it's just this interesting reflection. And it's interesting because swans can be kind of territorial, but it's also sort of this aloof energy. It's very mystical. And I feel like for some of you, again, there's something with like writing or speaking, but I feel like you're either writing speeches or scripts or doing something creative, because that's very connected to swan as well, being associated with the goddess Saraswati, goddess of poetry, goddess of language. And it does feel like you're kind of taking time for yourself at the end of this month and really, really looking at yourself, looking at what it is that you want, what your purpose is. I almost feel like some of you have been stuck in this South Node energy, going towards what is familiar, what you're kind of good at, or what just sort of comes easily. And I'm really feeling like the shift that is happening for you is more about going into that unknown. And it's actually interesting. Because the South Node is actually in your career sector right now. It is in Libra. And the North Node is in your 4th house of home in Aries. And so it's like really reconnecting with your roots, reconnecting with your soul. And that's going to also really help you connect with your purpose. We do have the owl as well. Yeah, very spiritual energy. Kind of seeing the opportunities that are hidden here. Because owls have these highly evolved senses, they're able to perceive well beyond the ranges of most other animals, and particularly in the darkness or in places that most cannot perceive in. So I do feel like, again, your intuition is very high. There's actually quite a bit of magic that you have access to right now as well. And again, I feel like, particularly with the new moon in your Pisces third house on the 10th, the third house is actually called the house of the moon. And it's a very good time to do things like divination, anything that's kind of working with the hands in scrying. But this does also feel connected to writing as well, and kind of just making your own sort of ritual or magic. And that's something that's very, very powerful for you, because I feel like in 6 months' time, there is going to be something coming full circle. And I feel like you need to kind of mark that, or keep that on your radar. Whatever it is that you're manifesting, by the time we come into the eclipse season, because we will have a full moon eclipse in Pisces, I think in September, that is going to be a very powerful time of manifestation for you. And those are all the messages I have for you this month, Capricorn. I do hope that this was helpful. I know it may not be the message you all wanted to hear, but I'm pretty honest. I really strive for that on this channel. And again, I do think that ultimately there is something really good in store for you. I do see greater abundance. I do see legacy for you. So, keep your eyes on the prize. Keep your eyes on in the long term. Anyways, you can find all of my links in the description of this video for my website, where you can book personal readings or Reiki sessions. You can also find all of my other social media accounts. Again, you are welcome to check out the other videos on my channel, maybe for your moon or rising sign. And I will see you all next time. Take care, Capricorn. Sending you lots of good energy for this March.